I just wanted to share with you the reasons why I don't use a mortar gun for pointing at this sort of thing. I have used them in the past and I didn't get on very well with them. Now the first thing is, you look at them and you think that looks nice and easy. You'll see something on YouTube, or you'll see a small piece of footage somewhere, and you see a chap there and he's got his gun, and it looks absolutely brilliant. So you convince yourself that you need one, and then you go and buy one. When you get it home and try it out, that's when reality kicks in. It's exactly the same thing that happened to me. The first thing you need to do is make sure you've got a really fine mix with no lumps or bumps and no stones in it. Then you need to make your mix quite wet. Once you've made your mix quite wet, you've got to fill the damn thing up. And if you think of it logically, it's just a little tube, isn't it? So then you've got to get your sand and cement inside the top of the tube without making a mess. So once you've done that, you put it all back together and you think you're good to go. So what happens next? You get above your joint or whatever and you squeeze, and what happens is at some point you get a blockage and you think, oh, what the heck? And the first thing you do is you squeeze harder on that little trigger, and all that does is compact everything inside really tight like that and squeezes the water out. So then you have to take the whole thing apart. Once you've taken it all apart, you have to empty everything out and go again. Once that's happened to you 2 or 3 times, you start getting a bit cheesed off because you're fed up of the thing jamming. So even when you do get it to go well, you're pressing the little trigger, and you've got others where you push from the top, which is probably far better, but I've never used one of them. Next problem you encounter is that there's only so much material, so much of this stuff which is wet, which you can actually get in that tube. So you might be able to do an area like this. Once you've done that, you've run out. And then you've got to take the whole thing apart again, refill it, and go again. And for me, that was an absolute pain in the proverbial. And it annoyed me. What you've got then is, over time, when you've been using it, what happens is, like anything, you get a build-up of cement on there. And once you've got that build-up of cement, you can't really get it off. Doesn't matter how much you clean it, how much you're careful with it and you store it. If you go to use it again, you've got that cement inside. And then you've also got like a rubber gasket at the top, and that gets all clogged up as well with sand and cement. So for me, I much prefer this method, where I've got a nice 4-to-1 mix sand and cement. I've got some waterproofer in there, you know, a little bit of additive. In this case it's SPR, and you've seen how quickly that I'm doing this. And we're not talking a shallow depth here, we're talking that deep. That I'm just filling this, it's all going in. There's no mess because I've got a dry mix. I've not had to buy anything additional. and I could just keep going and going and going. All I need to do is plonk some more in my bucket and I'm good to go. So I guess a lot of people who may have stumbled across this video will be thinking to themselves, is that just his experience? Does he not know how to use a mortar gun properly? So feel free to leave your comments, good or bad, if you've used one yourself, and just let everybody know how well you got on with it. Did you have a good experience, a bad experience? If you've only got one job to do, something like this, you don't do it for a living, is it worth actually buying something like that and spending your hard-earned cash when you've only got to do one job? So that was briefly why I don't use guns for pointing.